Okay, why I believe that this leak is actually real and we should use it to help us in planning when tickets will come out and the potential timeline of the tour. And this is from a 9-year veteran army who has seen BTS over 10 times. So if you want some advice and some theories about the tour, please stick around. I'm going to use the Map of the Soul tour. If you remember, it was the cancelled tour that never was, from 2020. So this is quite emotional to me because I was supposed to go to this tour. But I think it's a really good example because I actually think it follows an extremely similar timeline to this upcoming tour. And I think we could use it to kind of plan out a map when tickets will be released and kind of how the tickets will be released and how it works. Also, I have ticketed for many a BTS tour. I've ticketed for Love Yourself, Speak Yourself, obviously for this Map of the Soul tour that never happened, and also Permission to Dance. So I know a thing or two about how BTS tickets work, the announcements, and the things like that. So let's use this as an example. From the Weverse announcement that we got a few days ago, it was confirmed that we are getting the tour announcement on the 14th. So midnight of the 14th of January. If you look at this screenshot I have here, if you look at the date, we got the Map of the Soul tour announcement on the 22nd of January. So really similar, like literally a week apart. Which means that the timeline of the tour should be very similar in terms of how tickets are released. So I was doing some research online trying to find exact timelines of when things were released. And because it's now been 5 years and there's like millions of tweets, some things were hard to find. But one thing about me is that I'm a hoarder. I'm a digital hoarder and I don't delete screenshots. So I went into my own camera roll, scrolled back to 2020 and I found the exact time the tickets were released for you. So tickets were released on the 5th of February for the North American leg of the tour. The North American leg of the tour was supposed to be, I believe, in April, May. So it is likely that potentially for the North American people watching this video, that tickets will be released in February next month, maybe mid-February, and that the tour may span in April and May for you guys. But this is, again, just assuming that it runs a similar timeline of the Map of the Soul tour. Additionally, also from my archives of screenshots that I haven't deleted in 5 years, we have the European tour. So the European leg of the Map of the Soul tour was supposed to be in July, and tickets were supposed to be released on March 16th. At that stage, they already knew that COVID was moving crazy because the Seoul concert was already postponed at this point. And the North American tickets had already been sold out, completely sold out, because I got my North American tickets on pre-sale. By general sale, there was literally barely any. And then they were supposed to have the pre-sale on the 16th of March for Europe. The pre-sale was cancelled and inevitably the tour never happened because of COVID. Now, obviously, it's difficult to fully compare this tour that should have happened in 2020 to the tour that we're about to get, because this was, I believe, if I'm incorrect, then someone correct me, but I believe it was like a 39 date tour. It was less than 40 stops, whereas I believe this current tour they're doing is like 60 plus dates. Like, the size of the tour is completely different. However, using the timeline and the schedule that we had from 5 years ago, we can guesstimate when things will happen. Obviously, they're probably going to play more places that they were going to play on this tour. Like, there's already rumors that they're going to be playing more shows in different Asian countries. Like, everyone is saying that they're going to play in India for the first time, which I genuinely believe is going to happen, and they're going to play more shows in South America, more shows in Europe. So genuinely the scale of the tour that we are going to get is way bigger, and I think they're going to play more venues. Like, maybe not as many cities. They will probably still do a lot of cities, but I think they're going to play more venues in big cities. So that's why it kind of ties back into the original screenshot that I had. So I believe that this timeline may actually be real, because with the scale of the tour and the additional extra stops that they may do, there is a chance that by the time they make it to Europe, it will be the end of August. Additionally, I know people are complaining about there being only 2 stops. Again, we don't know if this is 100% true. I personally believe it is, because this is programmed into the website and clearly someone hadn't set it to a timer. But anyway, just because there's 2 shows here doesn't necessarily mean that we are getting 2 shows. Let's use My Chemical Romance as an example. They are playing Wembley Stadium this year for the first time ever. I'm also a big MCR fan, if anyone else is. But when they announced their tour, they only announced 2 shows. Obviously, the show sold out because they are huge. So they added additional dates. So it is highly likely that there will be, or there may be, depending on ticket sales, additional dates to the show. A lot of artists do this. They will announce 1, maybe 2 concerts, and if they sell out, then they will announce more. What the venues usually do is they have like standby, or they basically like hold the venue dependent on ticket sales. From a person that I met who works at Wembley when I went there last year, they basically told me that Live Nation just book out slots for the stadium, and they will essentially try and plan in as many concerts as they can over the summer months. So although it may seem like there's nothing happening on those dates, or that there's like not anything released, they hold them for certain artists. So fingers crossed that these dates are real, because I've already booked my annual leave in to not be at work at the end of August. But additionally, that they are adding more dates to this. So hopefully that helped anyone that has never been to a concert or wants to know any additional kind of things about how it works and the announcements. If anyone wants a series or any more help or tips about the upcoming tour, please do comment. Because as I said, I've seen BTS more than 10 times across multiple countries and continents. And I kind of know a thing or 2 about concert ticketing. So yeah, let me know if you have any more questions.